the podcast, man. I got a lot of good information for a lot of good viewers, man. Let's go. Sky's the limit right now, Carlos.
Absolutely, man. I totally agree, Trevante, man. Like, just give the information to the people, man. So it gives them the ability to make the good decisions. That's what it's about. Information is everything.
Already.
Most definitely.
Already.
All right, you guys, we live now. I'm going to take a couple seconds, a minute or two, and add people. If you guys want to add people, if you have another device or somebody around, just yell to them to go to the Soapbox Heroes page. And then from that page, you could copy the link and post it on your page and share it that way, or you could share it directly from the page. But yeah, I'm gonna add a few people so we could get this going. Let me see. In fact, I'm actually going to hand the phone off and shit and have somebody else share.
I'm trying to figure it out myself, man.
All right, where you at with it?
Trying to figure out how to add people.
Okay.
How to add people to it. That's what I'm doing right now, trying to.
Okay, if you guys go to the Soapbox Heroes page, it should be showing live.
Okay.
But I gotta leave this page though, because I'm not in front of my computer.
You're not, yeah, if you do, you'll go away for a second, but we'll still see we'll see a prompt that shows your voice, but we won't be able to see your face until you come back.
Okay.
Yeah, see, we can still hear you. And yeah, everybody, this is Soapbox Heroes. We're just doing some adding and some sharing. We're asking that you add and share. This is a very, very important show. We're not just talking, we're talking about solutions with people who actually make things happen. And that's what it's all about. So, like I said, I want to thank these two gentlemen. Just in about two more minutes, we're going to go ahead and get into the show. So take a second to add, like, if you can hear us, hear us well. I can hear you still.
Hello, man.
All right. Yeah, is this Levante? Levante, we can hear you.
This is Harold Vaughn.
Oh, I see Levante right there. Okay, Harold, if you could, you got to sign back out, and when you sign back in, sign in and pick the camera because you just picked the headphones, and so that.
Okay, I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay, because we can't see you.
All right. All right.
All right. Coming in. Tonight's show is about once you get released from prison, what do? How do you stay out? Oh yeah, Carlos, I can see you just shared it. We on live, you guys. Soapbox Heroes, tonight we're about to really, really get into it. Like I said, if you out there, take a quick second to share. All right, as soon as Carlos jump back in, we'll go ahead and get started.
How you been doing, Tyrone?
Oh man, wonderful, 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 man. It was warm out here today, boy.
Hey man, I did a little flower bed for my uncle, man. When I got done, I tuned in to you and I tuned in to Ralph and watched him for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I tuned in to him too. I saw you.
Yeah, man. This opportunity out here is real, bro.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a good time. It's a good time. Hey, Oscar. Hey, Primo. You guys can go ahead and share, like, get some thumbs up. Let's get some support. Let's get some engagement. This is important.
Okay, we got five people watching. I'm gonna go ahead and let the world know about WeServiceUnlimited.com. we
Where you go?
anything around the house. I mean, we did a flower bed today. We do tree work. We pressure washing driveways and houses, man. If you need a job and you want to do right, I could get you plugged in.
You broke up a little bit, Levante, before you said what it is you guys did. It just went blank and went quiet for a couple minutes. Like I said, this is Soapbox Hero. As soon as we get Carlos in here, then we have
Yo,
Harold and Roban is gonna come in. All right, all right. Carlos, we got you back. We can't hear you. You gotta hit unmute if you hit mute or something.
oh, you all right? Hey, you got to
All
you
right.
got to go to.
All right. Let's rock and roll.
All right, all
Okay,
right.
what's up, Carlo?
All right,
What's
everybody.
going on, brother?
All right, everybody. This
Nothing
is
much,
Soapbox
nothing much, nothing
Heroes.
much.
This is Soapbox Heroes. My name is Tyrone Irvin. Tonight, we're going to be talking about life after prison. What do you do when you get out? How do you get back to your regular life? How do you stay out? We're going to get real deep into it. We have two special guests that's going to start with us. And then, hey, fellas, we got two more guys that are going to come in later on. They jumped on today and they got good stories too. We just going to try to get all the solutions we can. But I want you guys to get deep into it. So we're going to start with you guys. So Trevante, you want to take a second and tell everybody about yourself?
Um, my name is Shavonte Earls. I'm from Houston, Texas, by way of Angleton, Texas. And the last 10, 12 years of my life, I've been struggling with in and out of prisons, in and out of jails, loss. But over the years, I've overcame a lot of adversities. I've built myself into the person that I am today, and I'm looking at the sky. Um, I work for a company that's owned from my uncle called We Service Unlimited. And when I was released from jail, I had the opportunity to come into the company and have my own division. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed, man.
All right. Carlos, you want to take a second and introduce yourself, let the people know who you are and what you do?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, my name is Carlos Christian. I'm the president and founder of the Starts Within organization, also published author of the book Prison Without Bars, and also the Walking Logo. What we do is we go inside of the prisons. We work with individuals before they get released, and we also work with them after they get released as well. My main thing and the main concept that we stand on is attack a mentality that gets people incarcerated so then they don't get incarcerated ever again. That's what I believe that gets people incarcerated so often is the way that we think. And the way that I know that is because I committed myself to the streets at 13 years old because of the information that I was operating off of at that age. You know, I was just a product of my environment, and I just said, man, you know what, this is the way that I'm going to make my decisions with this type of information. And I just started selling dope because that was the way. It's either you selling dope, you using dope, or you robbing. Like, that's just the reality of it. I mean, that was what seemed, either selling dope or robbing just seemed the most advantageous. And I wasn't into robbing, so I said that I'm gonna sell dope, and that's what I did. And I did that until 19 years old. I caught a attempted murder charge, possession of drugs, possession of firearms, drug trafficking, and I had to do 10 years, man. I had a 3-month-old son when I got incarcerated. When I was to be released, he would be 10. And that's when I said, I'm going to do what I need to do to be able to change my life around. I did that while I was incarcerated. I graduated from college. I got into administrative office technology, learned the computers. And that led to me being where I am today. I got released in 2007. That was right before the economy was declared the Great Recession. So I've been home for 11 years, and it's just been just like exciting. I've eclipsed my 10-year prison sentence by 1 year, and it's not by luck. It's because of decisions that I've made since I've been home to be able to warrant that type of result. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with y'all tonight, is just some of the things that has to be done for you to be successful with that transition.
Right. The Bill Gates of reentry.
You absolutely right, man. Like, I got a bird's eye view on this reentry thing, and I'm dead serious. Like, I got a bird's eye view, and literally one thing that I've been pushing for a year and a half now, and I got it on my shirts. As you see, shirts is definitely available, but what you see is turn the penitentiary on its head, stand the community on its feet. Dead serious, man.
All right. And Harold, I see you up there, but I hear you up there, but we can't see you yet. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we still can't see you. So you got to log out, and when you log out, you got to hit the camera, and the camera will be the way that you'll be visually available to us, because right now we can only hear your audio. So we're going to go ahead. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And hey, you guys, I'm just going to ask questions, because the whole reason for this is we want to come up with solutions. We want to talk about it. We want to put it out there. And both of you gentlemen you can't go nowhere. You can't tell somebody where to go if you haven't been there before.
No
and
question.
you guys have been there before. There you go, Harold. And since you guys have been there before, like, I just want some solutions. Let's talk about it. Let's put this out there, because we are the information. And so we're going to put it out there. So I'm going to ask you guys questions like I just got out, and you guys just, to the best of your knowledge and full honesty, let's do it. And here, let's take a second to introduce Harold. Harold, you want to introduce everybody to yourself and let people know who you are?
Yes. Harold, last name Vaughn, born, raised, Pasadena resident. Been through the system, caught up in the same BS. Sentenced to 15 years. California prison, did 13 out of the 15. I really think the problems in the prison, things have to come to a change, and I think it starts within our own communities, within ourselves.
Okay. All right. Great. And so so we're about the dialogue. Okay. And so my first question is this: Rovon, there goes our last guest, Rovon Brooks. Rovon, you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody about yourself?
What's going on, everybody? Rovon Brooks, black man. I'm a gun advocate. I believe in gun ownership. And wait, we ain't talking about guns. What we talking about? Prison, right? My fault. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, good brother?
Yup.
Hey, Rovon, tell a little bit about your story, about you going to the pen, getting out.
Yeah, man, I spent pretty much all of the 90s fucking around up in there one way or the other, either on parole, in the penitentiary, the county jail. Been up there a couple times. I bumped my head up against that wall a few times, but I learned my lesson. No doubt.
No doubt.
All right, well, we're going to get into it. So this is my first question. And we're going to start off talking about reentry. So I'm just getting out. I just did my time or whatnot. And somebody got a speaker. If you can, try to turn down your speaker so we don't have the back feed. But I just did my time or whatnot. And so now I get out, but they parole me right in the same neighborhood that I went to prison in the first place. Everybody I know is there. All the same influences that I came up with is right there. How do I stay away from that? I mean, it's right here. You want to start, Carlos? How do I stay with that? Well, go ahead, Rovon. You got it. And Carlos, we're going to come to you, and we're going to go all the way around. And like I said, we're going to dialogue, so feel free to jump in, but we're going to be respectful, and we're going to make it happen. But go ahead, Rovon. We'll start with you. How do I stay away from it?
But you got to understand, man, that it ain't about staying away from it. It's a setup from the jump. It's not a rehabilitation situation. It's just a revolving door. It's big business. So their intention is not for you to get away or get out. Their intention is just for you to come home and visit for a little while. Number one, you can't get a job when you come home on parole. I remember I had a job, man. I was at the warehouse, and I was locked in. The job was all mine until I foolishly said yes on the question, have you ever been convicted of a felony? I said, yes. And because of that, I guess she missed it the first time. So the interview was all good. It was all sunshine and blue skies. We were great. Next thing you know, she recognized that, oh yeah, I've been convicted of a felony. And then everything went bad. So you can't get a job. You got to eat. You know what I mean? You can't depend on the state anymore. So you got to do what you got to do. So it's never a situation to stand away from everybody else. Because if you have a mindset to do what you got to do in order to not go back, it don't matter who you're around, because you're going to do what you got to do. All the same influences, all that, it don't matter, because those influences already are leading you somewhere where you know where they're headed. So why would you go down that road? You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. But Carlos, I mean, it sounds easy, but it's right here. The influence is here. What do I do?
Look, it's not easy, but anything that's worth anything is not going to be easy. But you just got to have an understanding. One of the things that I realized is that you got to have an understanding. Like when I got released, but I had that understanding before I got released, that penitentiary, that prison to me was hell. It conflicted against my spirit. So I'm just in my mind, like, man, I just felt like a sucker, and I'm dead serious. By being in prison, I felt like I was, man, food on the table. And me coming up in the streets, I never desired to be nobody's food. So now in my mind, I'm like, man, I got to do whatever I need to do. So how do you go back into the same community that you got released from and still be successful? You got to make it happen, because you know what's on the other side, which is prison, which is hell. You don't want to go there. So what do? One of the things that was definitely beneficial for me was, first thing that I tell anybody, you got to get employed. You got to get employed. And that employment is key, because when you get employment, now that puts you in a position to be separated from a lot of the people that is tugging at your, one thing that I tell people who get released from prison, you cannot afford is free time. You can't afford no free time. So you got to make sure that your time is accounted for. So you got to get employed immediately. Now, this is what, like, a lot of people get tripped up on, because, I mean, if some jobs be saying, man, we ain't going to hire you because you're a felon or whatever may be the case, but it is jobs out there that will hire. I got hired 2 weeks after I got released, and everybody that I work with, they get hired. But guess what? I was working for $6.85 an hour. Yeah. I worked like it was $40 an hour, but this was what I needed to do. This kept me away from, man, being back into them same circles. So now I'm not in those circles no more. Now I'm able to really start to evolve and continue to develop as a civilian, because I embraced this outlaw mentality for so long. I had to start to develop a civilian mentality, and that's what it took. But employment is key. That's the best thing that can combat you and the influences that are coming at you from the people that you've been connected to all your life. And when you tell them, like, man, I got to go to work. When you tell them, like, man, hey, after work, I got to get my children. Your children ain't asking you to be no dope dealer. Your children ain't asking you to be no gangster, right?
That's right. That's right.
So when you surround yourself around your children, this is what I did, no doubt. I mean, my son was 10 years old when I came home. I did 10 years. He was 10 years old when I came home. And it's like, man, I'm not catching no case at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm just being honest. Like, I wasn't catching no case at Chuck E. Cheese. I got tokens. Like, I be having Chuck E. Cheese tokens all in my pocket. It's like, man, so it's just a different way of living. But these are things that you got to do intentionally. But you got to come to that conclusion first and foremost, is saying that, man, ain't no way I'm about to go back there. Ain't no way I'm about to go back there.
Right.
And if you get around people who is going there, because I know all y'all brothers know, when you get released, people be like, man, hey, man, it seemed like you just left. And it's like, no, brother, I've been gone, and I felt every day of that. Like, I felt every hour of that. I ain't just leave. I watched the ball drop in Times Square on the TV 10 years. I ain't just leave, man. Like, this stuff is real. So you got to get away from people who don't value, man, freedom.
Right. Okay. Right. Right. Hey, Trevante.
Huh?
Trevante.
What's up, man? What's up?
What did you do? What did you do to get it straight? To stay out, to stop going back to what do you guys say? You got to change your mind state or how you think.
Yeah,
What did you
got
do
to be
to
around like minds.
right,
Yeah.
right? What did you do to accomplish that, Trevante and Harold? I'm gonna ask you the same thing right after, and we're gonna swing it on to employment because jobs is important. I heard Carlos say job, but what did you
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
to say I'm not going back?
What I did was I was just honest with myself. I say I can't go out here and trip in these streets and get different results than I've always gotten. You know what I mean? When I came out this time, I made some grown man decisions.
Yeah.
I went, sat down, finished my little time. I came home and I did everything opposite that I've ever done to get to the places that I ended up all the years that I've been in and out of jails and stuff. This time was fortunate enough to fall into place in a position with my uncle who has a general contracting business. Shout out We Service Unlimited, and kind of put me right into position in the landscaping division. You know, my bad. The biggest thing that I did though when I got out, I went to church. I talked to my family. I listened. I told myself I knew better to fall into the same old ruts, you know. Right. And I found solutions while I was in prison. I built a incorporation called the Trey Earls Foundation, which is getting guys that's in prison skilled trade jobs that they got certifications for while they was locked up, you know, helping them come out and employ them right into a company where they're making money and not getting robbed by your past and your convictions and stuff like that, you know. I advise anybody that's fresh out or you know somebody fixing to get out, encourage them to build a support system. I go to church, man, and that's the best I feel.
No doubt.
Through the week, because I know I got something to look forward to, and all through the week I pray and I stay away from that bull crap, man. You know, right. Bull crap when you see it. I don't care how you put it on the plate, it's gonna be the same thing, you know. So general contractors hire felons with any kind of records. I was looking online today and I actually got some information. If anybody want to contact me, I'll leave my contact information where I'll email you places that's hiring here local where I'm at in Houston, Texas. Don't be discouraged. You're going to get told no, you know. Entrepreneurship is a great way to come out and put forth efforts into promoting yourself, staying out of trouble, you know. I'm a walking advertiser, you know. I got my business cards. I go out and every day I go out and I put some of these in some people's hands and let them know about the services that we provide. You know, a lot of my customers and clients probably don't think I've ever been to jail. It's how I carry myself. You know, I put a belt on every day. I'm presentable every day. I'm reflecting my kids. So I can't be this nothing, you know. So a lot of my adversities and trials and tribulations made me appreciate all the blessings that I've had. And I see it in myself now. I'm completely changed by will. By will.
All right. No doubt. All right. No doubt. And Harold, what about yourself? When you got out, what made you stay out? What did you do to just not go back again? What triggered your mind and say this is enough for me?
Well, it was easy to go after these brothers. They really just paved the way. Well, actually, getting out, you have to really surround yourself with like minds. So everybody does not have the same knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So once you walk through those prison systems and you know you're going out without a plan, you plan to fail. So
plan to fail.
You plan to fail. Surround yourself with like minds. So what I did was I had a couple of people that I knew before I got out that was doing the right thing. So I stayed in contact with them. Like, hey, Dink, you still gonna do that job?
Big
Hey, you
plus.
still got that for him? You saying I stayed on him? I stayed on him viciously. So what I did was I got out and did the things that I was supposed to do. Now, like he said, there are places that hire fellas. We cannot stick with that same mindset that say, hey, they're not hiring. They're not hiring. But sure, they're hiring because you still going to the same dope boy that got the same sacks. So why you can't go to the job? They still hiring people. So what I did was I took myself right over there and applied myself. You apply yourself. It's just applying yourself. Now, every day is not going to be easy, but I'm not taking no for answer. Not at all.
So stay persistent.
I think applying myself made the difference.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And Trevante and Harold, you see what y'all said? Like, both of y'all was like, man, just Trevante, you said that you was going to the church and stuff like that, just getting connected. Harold, you say that you connected with your people before you got released and say, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Yeah. See, people want to know how to get the jobs, and I'm sorry, we probably going into the next question, right?
Yeah, we are. We jumping a little bit. We jump in here. You want me to? I can just ask it and we can roll into it. My question was going to be this, and it's simple. Look, I'm out, and you guys know. Okay, let's say I know how to make money the same way I went to jail. So I know how to make money. I've been out here getting rejected. I don't want to work for a temp agency. I got kids to feed. So how I'm going to work? What am I going to do that's going to pay me more than $6 an hour? Or how do I go past that? What do I do, Carlos?
And that's the thing. Like, and this is what I'm realizing. This is the formula. See, and this is one of the issues is that we say that, man, I don't want to work for a temp agency. I don't want to work for $6.80. Like, I work for $6.85 an hour. But what do I do now? I start to increase the value of that $6.85 an hour job.
Yeah.
The reason why, look, it keeps me out of the mix. Because $6.85, they overtime you to death, right? So now, because they like, man, we gonna double you up. They gonna have me working. They're going to have me working 60-hour weeks, right? Yeah. So I'm able to start to get established. But look at the value in the $6.85 an hour job. And more than likely, people ain't about to be getting paid that. They're going to get paid more than that. But I'm saying if you are willing to do that, then we know that you will be employed. And we all agree that employment is key to being successful after prison. So if we look at this $6.85 an hour job, it's all about the way that we look at things. If I say that, you know what, hey, it's going to keep me out the mix because I'm going to have 60 hours of my week accounted for, right? So then that means that I'm going to be around, guess who? Employees. Look at my circle. I'm around employees. I'm not around individuals who smoking weed, drinking all day, because people will do that for you when you come home initially, but then they'll start to get tired. And then you got to start to foot the bill. So now you'll be in a space in your mind like, man, let me go ahead and pick up this pack because I've been smoking heavy and I ain't got no money to buy my weed or whatever or my drinks. And then that's how you start to get back into the life. But if you are at work, right, $6.85 an hour, look how powerful it is. You are around other employees, and this is what I found out. Because one of the things that everybody touched on is relationships. Trevante going to church. Harold got connected with some people who's doing different things. See, the people that we connecting to is people who are not going to prison. Therefore, if I'm connecting to employees, right, I'm starting to establish my circle. I'm committing myself to connections. Yeah. It's connections or it's attachments. I need to get connected to people. So now I'm getting connected to the people that can get me to another level that's opposite direction of prison. So now guess what? This is what I found out, and I'm not even playing. This is real story. I get connected with employees at these minimum wage jobs when I came home. Those employees, because I established good relationships with them, they go to another job. Now they get connected at that other job and they good with the supervisor. They put in the word for me. Now my background check is irrelevant because that person who got connected in that better job with benefits, he's saying, man, hey, I got my guy over here. He got a background, but he good people. He an asset to he'll add value to the company. It changes the game. It changes the game because now that gives me an ability to be able to level up. Now I'm gonna get a better job. I'm gonna get a better job because I'm staying in contact with people who's going the opposite direction of prison. So when we start at, you ain't gotta be great to get started. You gotta get started to be great. So when you go to that temporary job, right? You go to that temporary job, that stuff, I mean, you doing something. You getting started. I established my credit, brother, off of that $6.85 an hour job. I got my first credit card from that $6.85 an hour job. When you build your credit up to 6,768, that 355,519 don't matter. That's my prison number. See, this is like real stuff. And also, dang, this is crazy. This is information, and I love this stuff. Look, that minimum wage job, I needed a 2-year work history to be able to purchase my home. I got released in 2007. In 2009, I was able to purchase my home because I needed a 2-year work history to be able to solidify my mortgage in the bank. They used part of that $6.85 an hour job as my 24-month work history. Right. You understand? Okay. Right. That's the value of that minimum wage job, or that temp job.
Right. I hear you. Rovon, okay, let me ask you. I see the value in it, and I hear everything Carlos is saying. But when you first got out and that minimum wage job it didn't seem like it was stacking up. What did you do to level up and move to the next level? Because there has to be a moving to the next level, and anybody want to jump in, you can jump in. But I'm going to ask the question the same way to everybody, and Carlos, feel free to jump in too. What do I do, Carlos? What do I do, Rovon? It's hard. I mean, it's hard. So, I hear you, but it's hard.
Moving to that next level will consist of the trait that you have inside you. Mine were, when I was on the streets before, I knew that my niche was these cars and stuff like that. So this time, it wasn't no more me going to the street and stealing a car and trying to sell it. Now my thing was, with this job that I was making this extra money, I could put some to the side, and buy this vehicle and use my talent to sell it. So what I do is work this 9 to 5, use my talent to better myself. So I don't. Yeah. So again, it still takes the streets away, but some things that I picked up from the streets, I can correlate with that and make a better living.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're going to correlate with some things that you learned from the streets and your talents and go ahead and make them work for you. What about you, Rovon? What did you do?
I just found my path, dog. I mean, I bounced around warehouses left and right, this and that.
Me too.
But I got on the truck, straight up. Yeah. And I tell everybody, man, get on the truck, because in trucking, you have an industry that you have all kind of different avenues that you could take to make money. And it's an avenue, and it's an industry that they can't get rid of. They can't ship it overseas. They can't move it nowhere, because no matter what, they got to put something on the truck. You can go on the operator, you can go company, over the road, local, regional, heavy haul. I mean, man, it's money to be made, and there's more loads than there are drivers, and there always will be. You know what I mean? So you just got to find your path. You got to come up with a mission and surround yourself with people that's on that same mission.
Okay. So I've heard all you guys say I have to surround myself with people who are on the same mission. So I guess that's basically a lot of what you guys are telling me, Rovon. So you mean anybody, I can have 4 felonies and I could be a truck driver? Because a lot of stuff don't accept me. I could be accepted as a truck driver with 4 felonies.
But see, this is the thing. It ain't even about being accepted, because number one, you can always run with an owner-operator. They don't give a damn what you got on your record, as long as you could drive that truck. And as long as you're a stand-up man, you know what I'm saying? And you handle your business out there, at first they might look at you kind of funny because of the felony, but once they see your work ethic and they see you handle it, because above and beyond anything, money talk louder than any other thing out there. So as long as you're making money, then they don't give a damn about that felony. You know what I'm saying? But then the felonies start coming up once you come in there and start acting like a convict, fucking up, stealing stuff, wrecking stuff, tearing up, just acting up. See, then they start recognizing, yeah, that felony, this and that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's all about how you present yourself to the public. It's all about how you present yourself. But even above that, even if you can't get a job, you can always get your license and go get a truck. and it just go on an operator. You know what I mean? I mean, there's all kind of avenues to make money, and there's all kind of ways to do your thing. And like they say, if you are occupied, you doing your thing, then you out them streets. And if you out them streets, you out the way. And that's all. That's really what it's about. Getting out their way and handling your business.
Right, and that's a common thread that all four of you guys have pretty much said. Go ahead, Carlos.
But you got to think, too, like you said, man, like, I mean, you got to be able to attract the right people. And it's difficult to attract the right people when you, like, come out. Like, I done seen people coming out like this.
Well, how should I come out? How should I come out? That's what I'm used to. I just have to survive like that.
But that's what I'm saying. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, but this is the point, right? Like, you can be like this all day long, and you're gonna get exactly what just got coming, because people gonna be scared of you at the end of the day. And if you got the people who can offer you an opportunity to level up scared of you, then you gotta settle for what you got coming. So then therefore stay like that, and then you gotta deal with the results that bring. So again, you gotta come to the conclusion and say, man, you know what? Man, hey, I'm not about to be in no penitentiary, so then therefore I'm not even about to have a face that looks like penitentiary, right? I'm not even about to have language that fits penitentiary. I'm not about to have anything that can attach me to the penitentiary, because that's conflicting against my spirit. I mean, it's just the level, it's just the point in time that every man, whoever he is, or every woman, got to say, man, you know what, man, that's not about to be my life. We got to have that understanding. But the only way that it's not going to be our life is if we, man, go ahead and separate from it. We got to abandon that stuff. But it's not just going to go away. And ain't nobody going to sit up there and say, man, you've been hurting for long enough. We going to make sure you stop hurting now. That don't work.
So check.
Wait. Hold on.
One thing that the brother said, what you say? You say, brother, man, that stuff hard. Man, heck, this stuff is hard. It's hard. It's hard to do the time, right? It's hard to lay up in the bed with bullet holes in you. It's hard to see your children, man, like walking off of visits looking back at you, and you can't go with them, and they wondering how come you ain't coming home. You thinking about who raising them. You thinking about who giving them the information and giving them information to develop a mentality that's going to get them incarcerated 10 years from now, and it's going to be worse 10 years from now. It's hard thinking about that stuff. So we do hard, right? But we got to do this hard so then our life will be easy.
Shit is hard to stand on the streets all day long, nigga, and hustle. Nigga, the hustle ain't hard.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man,
this is my question. Hold on, 1 second.
You know what? So we do hard. Man, I used to have, man, no lie, man, like, we just talking now, right? Like, I used to have the plastic bags on my feet, cold, below zero. And I'm like, man, I'm not going nowhere until I get everything that I have off of me, right? So it was hard. While everybody else partying, I'm like, man, I got to get it. You know, that was my mindset. So it's like, man, I got to do what's hard. But then I had to do that decade. It was hard, right? So it's just like, man, I have grown accustomed to, like, I embrace the hard now. And this is what we got to do. We got to embrace that hard as men, because we know that once we embrace that hard and we do it, then our life will start to get easier.
All right. Hey, everybody, this is Soapbox Heroes. This is Soapbox Heroes. I'm asking everybody if you could take a time and just share and invite people, because like I said, this is important. This is a good show. And just take a time and share out and come fellowship with us, because we're talking real stuff. Trevante, how do I get my mindset? How do I get my mindset to the point to where Carlos and Rovan is talking about, because I'm used to this struggle. See, I done grew up in this struggle, but to change my mindset to say, standing on the block might be hard, but it's not hard after years of doing it, growing up into it. So how do I change my mindset to realize that, you know what, this is actually hard, and being free and doing things that it takes to be free are not as hard? How do I get that mindset? I'm used to standing on the block. I've been doing this.
So, I came up the same way too, man. Hustling is how I started to be able to make money. and ended up getting me put in jail a lot.
Okay.
Hold on. I think I got out of the meeting. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
I just learned how to hustle better ways professionally. You know, my grandma would put me out and tell me walk the block and sell cakes and pies. And I would come back home at 6, 7 years old with 40, 50 bucks. You know what I'm saying? She instilled in me a way to provide for myself. You know what I mean? As I got older, I guess I got a little arrogant about how I did things, and one thing led to another one. Here I am selling dope. Here I am back in jail. Here I am out back in jail. But this time around here, I got tired of it. Okay, in Texas penitentiaries today, these are facts. 15% of all the population of the prison will get out and be successful.
15%?
Okay, that leaves 15% of people getting out of prisons in Texas have a chance at getting a job and staying out of prisons. Okay, the Wyndham School District is built by the Republican. What they do is they invest in the school and make it mandatory. Okay, well, while you're doing this time, you're going and doing class, vocations, you're getting all kind of skills and trades just to get out of prison, and just for the discretion of the employer, they don't hire you due to your background. Bam, here you go again. So what I did was I built a plan. I built a plan that specifically dealt with the person getting out of jail, and it's called Straight to the Top. Through it, understanding trials and tribulations, God has used to get my attention on what His purpose is for me. You know what I mean? Since I was 12, in and out of jails, gangs, drugs, where I lost to the law every time, petty stuff all the time, man. Every time I came home from jail, I seen it was really made to go back due to the lack of resources. I get out, the world didn't change, everybody's different. I've been isolated around men all day. So it's kind of hard to reintegrate to society and be comfortable, like you just picked up where you left off at, man. I seeked out entrepreneurship, man. If you got a skill, you got a drill, you got a dream, you got a passion, I don't care what it is. You can go to the county clerk's office, get you a DBA, take it to the bank. They're going to give you $500 just for opening a bank account, start a business loan. You know what I'm saying?
Man, my good.
Go ahead, Carlos.
Go ahead, Carlos.
My good brother, like you said, entrepreneur, like that's definitely like, man, there. Like the good brother said about the trucking. Like you ain't got to like get your truck and get on the road, right? If somebody needs some stuff transported, they ain't sitting up there saying, man, you know what, you got a felony. Man, if my car break down and you an auto mechanic and you know how to do the work, you think I care about if you got a felony? Only thing that I care about is if you can get that job done. This is what we gotta have to understand of. See, a lot of times what I realized when we talk about the mentality, Trevante, a lot of things that people, they have just grown accustomed to do is just find a problem in every solution. So then when you hear a solution, they be like, it's a problem with that, it's a problem with that, so of course you're going to fail. So people's minds is already in a place that will suggest failure. Like if you say, man, hey, I don't care if I get a pickup truck. Man, I go ahead and take them packages with the pickup truck until I get my regular truck. I'm going to keep on doing it. Like, man, you could go out there and cut grass. Man, they ain't sitting up there doing no background check for you to cut grass or to do lawn care.
No.
They ain't doing that stuff.
Carlos.
And you can create that. You could be making $30, $40, $50 an hour, like doing stuff on your own, just saying you can, but you got to start, you got to develop yourself. You got to learn how to do some things.
When think you learn outside the box.
Then when you learn how to do some things, then you'll start to become valuable. See, this is the issue. See, people, they sit up there and just think that, man, hey, I ain't did nothing to work on myself, and society is going to just give me my success in a box with a bow on it. And that stuff don't be happening, man. So it's just like, if I develop myself and say, man, I'm about to go ahead and learn, like the good brother Trevante, man, I'm going to go ahead and learn construction. I'm going to learn how to do this drywall. I'm going to learn how to go ahead and lay this floor. I'm going to learn how to do concrete. When you learn how to do these things, you can go into business for yourself. When you say, man, I'm going to learn how to go ahead and get my CDLs, and I'm going to go ahead and learn how to drive, like, brother, that's game time. But that's where we got to be at. If we ain't there, then you can forget about success. But one thing that I tell people is that you got to come back to the roots. You got to say, man, is prison okay? And if you think that prison is okay or it's not that bad, then you will go back.
You will go back.
See, but like brother said, like, man, hey, that stuff was like weird than a mug for me to be in a facility for 10 years with just all men. And you be in the showers and then they be talking to, like, brothers be talking to you naked. It's like, brother, I'm naked. I don't want to talk about no basketball. Like, let me take my shower, brother.
And that's the
like,
thing.
that
Why,
stuff
how
is
do they keep
uncomfortable.
going back?
So now it's like, me having the mindset like, man, I'm going to do what I need to do to not go back there. But you have to have that mentality to say, like, whenever you arrive there, then that's when you'll be successful. But you got to arrive in a space to say, man, you know what? Ain't no way. That's not fit. I'm not fit for that. It's not okay. It's not normal. That stuff is abnormal. It's inhumane. Until you come there, man, it ain't nothing that you're going to be able to do anyway, because you're going to come up with a problem with every solution until you come there mentally and say, man, so then that's what I help do. I help brothers get there. Like, I
the thing about
how that stuff was. Like, brother, you know how them visits was. You had to bend over and spread your cheeks and cough and stuff like that and lift up your feet.
That ain't cool.
Like just to go see your loved ones. You remember
that ain't cool.
Hey, Harold.
You okay with that? Right? This is the question I be asking brothers. The brothers be like dead serious though.
Right. Hey, Harold.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Harold. What were you going to say?
See, the thing is, Carlos, we need more positive brothers like that because, like he said, okay, if you just now getting out, stepping out that door, and you're going to the same community. It's not like you can just go to a nice community. So you're going back to where your roots were. If you go back to where your roots were, you're gonna need more people.
Who?
Because if you have the same people, you have no like-minded people, you're all going to go back to that same place. Of course,
no
we
doubt
all can relate and say that we don't like that situation, but we can't be selfish and only think about ourselves. So we also have to come out, now with the mean mugging, like you said, we have to come out leading by example. Hey, you know, a brother that's doing sometimes about to get out, a good brother. Once he get out, help him. Lead the way.
Absolutely.
Show him, like, hey, he say driving the trucks. He say with the truck, you have to lead the way. We can't continue to be selfish. That's my main thing. We cannot continue to be selfish because we're only thinking about ourselves. We got a whole community behind us. Now you got to think about how many of us can pillage from our communities. So we have to go on and get back. So we have to lead by example.
So once you get out, you say and lead by example, it'll help somebody else behind you, like you guys are doing now.
When I grew up, I came out the house. I never walked out the house and seen a doctor or lawyer. I seen gangsters, drug dealers, and prostitutes. So that's what I set my mind out to be. Ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want to do that. So my thing is,
can't be what you can't see.
Positive example, huh?
Can't be what you can't see, brother.
You can't be what you can't see. So what I'm saying is, we lead by example. Even if I am the only brother pulling up, getting out the car with my uniform on, they go see, like, you know what? He got out and stuck what he said he was gonna do. I didn't go back to the side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You dead on with that. Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying, man.
Hey, Harold, you dead on with that.
Yeah, you work now. I was working for 10 cents an hour in there. So when you're getting out doing minimum wage, it's already a raise. It's already a raise.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
I said the same thing. That's the mind. Absolutely.
You go submit somewhere.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. So right now, it's about when we stepping on, we got to lead by example, brother. Because I have children. Yeah. I have grandchildren. Now, so now what do? We let the community to go on. We always go complain like, oh, this X, Y, and Z race is taking over. We can't keep saying that. We ain't even helping our own.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, everybody. Once again, this
That's
is
good
Soapbox
stuff, man.
Heroes. I'm asking that you share if you get a chance. Brandon L. Neuro says, I've been out for 21 years working for 18. You can do whatever you want to. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to move it into this. Rovon, I'm going to ask you a
Who
question.
said
I've been out
that?
20 years.
His name is Brandon L. Neuro.
Hey, I'm
I've
gonna
been
tell
out
y'all
20
brothers
years.
too. I'm not even playing. Like, hey, I'm gonna tell y'all brothers, man. Hey, we gotta come together like Voltron. That's what I'm talking about, man. Because,
Right.
man, my idea now, like Harold said, is that we got to have more brothers saying, man, this is how you get it done. So often, what I see is that people they get past, their past, and then they just like, I ain't been there, so I ain't been incarcerated,
Fuck that.
like we need the people who become successful to let people know, man, I come from that. So then therefore society will start to increase their value the way that they look at us. Us will increase the value the way that we look at us. Because one thing that I know that all of y'all seen was brothers coming back in doing more time. Like it's difficult to identify brothers who have been successful. Because either you if you make it out, it's like you better not say nothing or I'm gonna take your success away from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You better not let nobody know you had a felony. So people be ducking and hiding, right? And that's a problem because when you duck and hide, now you are, man, you are cheating the people who are going through that struggle, because only story that stands is that story of that brother who just went back in, who just shot up his family, who just came home and shot up his kinfolk. That's the only story that stands. So now it's like, man, am I going to be successful? If I'm a young dude and I'm about to come home and only story that has been standing is the stories of people who have been failing. So like Harold say, man, we got to be out there. Like, hey, we got to be like that one movement that they got going on. What's that? What they talk about, Me Too or whatever?
Yeah,
like,
us too.
We got to be like that. Like, hey, they consider me a monster too. They said I was a monster. They called me a monster in the newspaper. They said this brother was a monster, right? I don't look like no monster. Yeah. But we all got to come out and be like, yeah, they said that I was supposed to be in a human junk pile too, right? Now look at me. I'm an athlete. I take care of my children. I'm in home with my family. I got a whole live movement, man. I'm building up my community. That's what we got to do, man.
All right. Hey, Rovon.
Another
thing
that I like to go along with, like Carlos said, I could do an awesome job for somebody and they'll go and be like, oh my gosh, you did just a good job. I'm gonna refer you to here. And sometimes my mind tell me, I wonder if they'll trip if I had 3 felonies. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if they'll trip if they knew some of the shit that I've been through. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but that's the deliverance that God allowed me to go through to understand how blessed I am. The only thing that differs me with the record and someone who doesn't have one is what God say I could bear. God said I could go through all of this to turn around and go through everybody that I came with, and change their lives by them seeing me saying, dang, what Javante got going on, man? He jumping out of company trucks and he all on the roofs and they building houses and what is he doing? My purpose has been revealed. That's to be an ultimate hold on, I just got a message. Be an ultimate help to not only my brother but to God, man. Be there. Let everybody know, hey, all my buddies, my close 3 people right now. My cousin, Albert Hughes Jr., the third, he's in Memphis, Tennessee right now. He works with the Grizzlies. That's my number one go-to guy. So if I hang around and surround myself with people like that, I'll be successful in a way where I'm important and everybody's looking at me in a better way, not knowing, hey, I done some stuff in my life, but I got myself together,
Right.
All right. And here, let's do this real quick. Ravon, we've talked about people getting out, and we've gone over some topics, and we've combed over a few solutions. But before we get too far into solutions, let me ask you this: why are so many people going to prison? Why are so many black men going to prison? Because we in there. So what is the mentality that's putting us in prison that say, okay, it's cool if we go to prison. I'm an OG if I go to prison. I get respect if I go to prison. Why is that so prevalent in our community?
Because going to prison has been glorified. Going to
Yeah.
prison. See, the black man is under attack. The black man, the black woman, the black family, we are under attack. Plain and simple. We're going to jail in big numbers because we're falling for the propaganda. When you look at when you tell somebody over and over again, this is what you are, this is what you are, this is what you are, 9 times out of 10, this is what they'll become.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, when this is all you have around you, you know what I mean? When you growing up and that's all you know is cats going back and forth to jail. You see cats come home from jail and everybody happy and throwing big parties and the women all over him and he got that high pro glow. You know what I'm saying? And he's shining. You know, as a kid, you start thinking that's cool. So then you get in the mindset that, and then you still start kind of just get pushed in toward that path of going to jail. Throw that on top of the fact that damn near every rapper out there glorifies going to jail. I done heard these cats. I don't remember the cat, but the song. But you know, I got felony charges and this and that, and they glorify that like that's cool. Like it's cool to have a felony. You ain't no real motherfucker if you ain't got no felony, and that's some of the dumbest shit in the world to me. But I mean, it's so much bigger because then you look at who puts the music out. The music studios are putting out the music, and then they own private prisons. So
yeah.
And then I mean, so now you're enriching the studios executives on 2 different ends. I'm talking on 2 different ends. So number one, you got them, you enriching them because you're buying the music. Number 2, you're enriching them because you're going to prison.
Right.
They make it cool to kill. They make it cool to kill the black man, kill another black man. And so when you got 2 black men, one kills one man kill another black man, you got 1 black man dead, you got 1 black man going to prison, 2 black lives gone, 2 black families affected. And on top of that, once you go to prison, you abandon your rights, you forfeit your rights. And this is the biggest thing because number one, you can't get a gun. In many states, you can't never vote. You forfeit your civil rights. And this is a plan by the system, right? Because you minimize the effect that the black man can have. So now you got the school to prison pipeline. You have and you got it's ADD, so you get them started on drugs early. It's a program. Yeah. It's a program in this country that we are subject to from the womb. Yeah. And unfortunately, we're falling for it. We're falling for it. Our next generation is in generations that are falling for that. But at the same time, I also see cats that's doing things. But this is why cats are going to jail, because you can't have a gun, you can't protect yourself, you can't. So when the Civil War comes, and it's coming, you can't legally have no guns, and you steadily feeding the system. And that's why we go to jail. It's a program, bro. It's a program that starts from the minute you get here. It starts from the vaccinations they give you. It starts from the Similac you feed you. I mean, it's a program. It's a program.
So, Carlos,
again, I'm falling for it.
Carlos, expand on that, and then after that, Harold, you piggyback on that.
Okay,
go ahead,
so
Carlos.
I mean, and this is what I touch on so often, and I believe that the main reason why the prison population is ballooning and why it is expanding is because of the individuals that's coming home.
Okay.
Like the reason why I say is because of the individuals that's coming home is because it's almost like I consider, you know, a prison to be like close to hell and like close to death. The reason why it's close to death is because you go in there, you got to leave everything in society, right? But can't nobody come back from death. Ain't nobody came back from hell, right? So prison is just close to it. So the only information that can be gotten from the only way that you can transfer the information is from the individuals coming home. So now, if I came home and said that, like, I came home, like, man, brother, I ain't never going back there, man. That stuff is hell. Like, man, I'm not going back there. Guess what? I'm going to start to influence the younger generation to do different as well. But when I come home and I support that mentality and I support, like, the things that lead me back to prison, and I come home and I say, man, it wasn't nothing, man, because, you know, people be lying and they be having that mask on. They be like, man, I did 5 years, man. I can do another 5 years, man. It ain't nothing gangster, right? So now what you have
that
is
shit
people
crazy.
who are 13 years old. You have people 13 years old looking at that person coming home, because brothers get celebrated when they come home, and I'm just being honest.
Right,
like,
right.
man,
That's what
people
Ravon
celebrated. They threw parties and stuff for me, man. I was able to get drinks
Yeah.
for a long time. They like, man, I got you, right?
Yeah.
But if I didn't have the mentality to say that, you know
Shopping
what,
sprees and all that.
like, man, I'm doing something different, man. But and people wouldn't be able to, like, make proper decisions because I'm coming home and I'm giving you the proper information. See, sometimes people who coming home can make prison look kind of good, right?
Right,
Like
right.
if I'm getting shoes,
Yeah.
I'm getting money put in my pocket, I'm getting, you know, like, I'm just getting the red carpet, and
They
people
calling me OG and all that.
just think about the young mind, right? And I'm
Right.
not, like, telling the truth. That's the issue. See, that same person who come home from prison, they sat at that bunk at 12 o'clock at night and wonder who was sleeping with their girl. They sat at that bunk and wondered who was raising their children. They hurt. They complained about the food that was being served. They complained about that stuff. They
All the
didn't like
time.
that, right? They didn't like that. But when they come home, they don't say it. They say, man, you know what, yeah. And they make it look like, man, you know what, hey, man, this is what it is. So if I'm sitting up here 13 years old and I say, man, hey, if the worst thing that can happen to me is that, then I'm going to take my shot. I'm going to go ahead and sell my dope. I'm going to go ahead and rob, because the only thing that can happen to me is that. And I go to prison and I'll get celebrated. I'll get, you know, a good care package and things like that. But they don't tell people about, man, I'm telling you, because, hey, don't nobody contact you when you're in prison. Like, you do that stuff by yourself. Ain't nobody to call. Ain't nobody writing letters. Brothers be like, man, I ain't know where you was at. It's like, brother, I'm public information. How you don't know where I was at? Brother, don't tell me you didn't know where I was at, man. I was in the same place. Just get on the internet and look me up. But when you come home, it's just, that person who's coming home is the main ingredient. And that's the movement that I'm pushing, is that we need to literally, and I don't want to even put it in a space to where brothers is having to do it for free. So now what I'm working on is getting the people at the top to fund the people who are coming home to go back in and tell what the truth is. I need the person coming home to show that they have abandoned that mentality, and that's the only way that mentality will lay to rest. And listen here, and I'm gonna close it out, and I'm gonna let the brother go because I don't want to go too far. But listen, hey, not only that, but if I'm a father and I come home on some different stuff, which I know because my son was 10 years old when I came home, and I'm a whole new different individual. My son graduated from high school. He went to college because he emulating the man that I am today, not who I was, right? So now the young people that we talking about that is getting incarcerated is nothing but the children of the fathers who came home with the same mentality that they went in with. So now the child is sitting up there saying, like, you know what? Dad is sitting up there smoking big. He's sitting up there pants sagging, talking about I'm in the trap house at 40. He jumping the fences running from the cops at 40. Why can't I? Like, we gonna both be running from the cops together, right? And this is how this stuff stays supported. That's why the person who is incarcerated is so important. We all need to be focused on that individual that is coming home, because they're going to come home regardless. We need them to come home with medication to cure the community. If they coming home, come home with medication. Don't come home with that poison that continues to keep the community sick.
Right. So get to them before. Let them know the importance of it before they get out, so they can come home with the right mind state and mentality. And so it's getting to the person first, so they can have the education and the understanding and the wherewithal to see through it before you hit the traffic. You know which lane to hit before you hit the traffic. All
That's
right?
it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Harold, what was on your mind? What was your mentality when you first started getting in trouble? What was going through your head? What was influencing you to do the things that you were doing real heavy? I can't hear you. You muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, me personally, I was more of a follower growing up. So being that I was a follower, I wanted to be like everybody else. I didn't have my own identity. I wanted to be little such and such, or whatever he and she was doing. So my thing was, to get myself in trouble, I wanted what they had. You know, didn't have the mother and father, so I didn't have the means to have a nice pair of shoes, a nice pair of pants to go, the basic things to go to school. I didn't have a way to get to school. I didn't have where to get home to go to do my homework. So my thing was to get in trouble. Well, it wasn't in trouble that way. At that time, it was me making a living. So me making a living at that time is what I knew best. So now, like I'm saying now, it takes the community to show that that's not what we have to do.
No doubt.
Like Carlos was just saying, people that are getting out, they showing the community and the other youngsters growing up that, hey, me getting out, doing all this, they're getting the parties, they're getting looked out for. Now the other like, hey, that's the way to go. We get this, but that's not it, because we're not getting the right example. I see people every day online on the social media with their kids, taking them, doing sports and stuff with them, but the ambivalent in it, they'll show the next post, they're showing gang activities, or they're showing, oh, we're over here, we're shooting up, we go shoot up this part. Oh, no, we're gonna have these different. So it's come on, it's contradictory. So how am I gonna be in one post, being with my kids, showing the community, but then at the next day, my kids seeing me here, seeing with the gang members. So now what my kids gonna do? I want to be like my dad. So they're going to emulate dad. They go to school. Dad send you to school. But at the end of the day, they trying to be like dad. They want to be that little gangster. So what I'm saying, we have to show better examples. We have
no doubt.
Right.
We have to show better examples. So, again, I agree. What you're saying, Carlos, I agree, because I lived that same life. So for me to go in, and my son was months to get out of prison and graduate from high school, you don't want to take that route. You don't want to take that route. When I left, he was in diapers. So to come home, my youngest is graduating from high school. So what we do now, we have to lead by example. He sees nothing but me striving every day, working hard every day, staying in his ear every day. Also, why not show other kids? Everybody don't have a father. Some people's fathers are still in there doing the same SHIT behind bars, making videos.
Absolutely.
Making videos, and the kids looking at them like, instead of your dad doing the right things, he in jail doing the same stupid stuff. So it's menticide. We have to change our way of thinking. We have to.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Harold, we can go in there and not do nothing, or we can go in there and do something. I learned. I got I got my high school diploma in there. I got associate's degree in there. I also got ASC certified in prison. It gave me tools to get out and do something. So there are something to do in prison. It's up to you to get it.
Right.
No doubt.
And Harold, you said something that I appreciate, Harold. And to me, it take a man to say it. You said what influenced me is I was a follower. I've heard a lot of things in my life, and I'm sure you gentlemen have all heard a lot of things, but I have never really heard too many people admit to I want to be a follower. What do you guys think the effect of that, of people following, have on people going to prison and staying in prison? Rovon, we'll start with you. What followers? What do you think about that? How do you be an individual? Because following is a huge problem. You said about rappers and things of that nature. But and we're gonna and add in too, Carlos. What do you guys think about that? Being a follower.
Because
Being a follower, dog. I mean, for the most part, that's what that is. I mean, cats. When you more often than not, cats that get involved in the streets and get gangs and this and that, more often than not, you're following somebody, right? Somebody influenced you to be this. You know what I mean? You grew up and you watched your big cousins and your big brothers and all this and that, and you made that decision to go that way, therefore following their lead. So we're all followers in that respect. You know what I'm saying? So without a doubt, but I respect that he will accept that. I mean, and admit to that. You know what I mean? Because too many times we act like, oh, we just made this decision to walk out and do this. Nah, you followed somebody and you was a follower. And you had, number one, in order to get somewhere, you have to always admit your faults. And you have to always take ownership. And this is all about being successful too when you get out. You can't come home talking about everybody set you up or motherfuckers did this or the police or this and that. You have to accept ownership of what you did to go up in there. See, everybody innocent in jail. You sit up in that motherfucker, boy, everybody up in there got set up. For every single motherfucker in
and everybody
jail
a lawyer too.
got set up. Everybody a lawyer. So you have to take ownership of what was going on. I talked to a cat, he was telling me, yeah, you know, the white man set me up, this and that. I said, what you in there for? Oh, sales? Oh, the white man was out there making you sell dope? No, well, no white man telling me nothing. But what white man set you up there, dog? So you have to own what you did. You have to be, if you're going to make a change, you have to know what you're changing from. You have to know what you're changing to.
I tell you what.
I mean? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Levante.
I tell you what, man. This last time around, when I ended up having to go and sit out the rest of, I wanted to go and sit out the rest of my sentence, man, because my parole officer, probation officer, man, it seemed like I got a job, I'm paying my fees, I'm at my house when I can't be. I'm supposed to be at work. They give me the privilege to take off to go and see you at my house. I don't have no dirty UAs, but I still get violated for miscommunication. I went to jail. I went to jail for about 4 months one time for miscommunication. That was the violation that my parole officer wrote on me and sent me back on a sit-off. But I told the judge, he said, how do you plead? I said, I'm guilty. The judge said, are you telling him? He looked at my record. He said, I pled not guilty a bunch of times. He said, but this time I'm telling the truth that whatever I was charged with, I did it. He dismissed the case. I went home. And that's just God, you know, because like I said, when I got out of jail this time, everything that I've ever done, I've done the total opposite. Starting in the courtroom with the judge, you know what I mean? Telling the truth, being honest about how my thought process is. I can think about some stuff and make it however I want it, or I can think about the truth of it, you know, and get a better outcome, you know. Being honest with myself is how, I mean, I continuously making a better change in my life. People don't like change, but that shit add up. And the next thing you know, you got a big jar of shit, all kind of accomplishments. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey,
go ahead, Carlos. And I was just about to ask you a question.
I'm gonna tell you this too, because like the brother said, I think it's more of just the insecurity, you know, just that insecurity, man, because you wasn't developed properly, you know, because a lot of us came up in them broken households, you know, I mean, and that's just the way that it is. So our environment didn't, you know, give us the information for us to be, you know, secure in who we were, and we put ourselves in compromising situations, and that's why we get into the gangs. That's why we get to selling dope. That's why we feel like that if we get money, we'll be somebody, because we don't believe in who we are because of our insecurity. So I say a lot of times that's what got me incarcerated is because of my insecurities, right? So if I'm finding out, and I'm a prime example, just with like one of my cases is just that, man, I knew that my dude was stealing from me, but when I found out my dude was stealing from me, it's just like, man, I'm about to kill him. That's what my mind telling him, and that's what I told my people because it sounded like the thing to do. This is what we supposed to do. But it's like, but when that time came, and I'm just being honest, man, that stuff ain't feel right, and it just felt like I just felt pressure, right? And this is the honest me. See, people be thinking like, man, yeah, just gun them down and blaze them up, and it ain't no thing. Like, nah. That stuff don't be like that, especially when it's somebody that you love.
That's Hollywood.
Right? It's like, and it's just like real honest stuff, man. But the only reason that only reason why I pulled the trigger is because I felt like that I couldn't face the people in the hood, and they would tell me that, Los, you let this dude do that, you let him steal from you. Like, I didn't want to face that, and because I was not secure in facing that, I did what was wrong, and it led to my prison time. Because of my insecurities. Now, if I would have been like, man, let him, man, I'm not even, man, forget that, nah, but I couldn't do that because of where I was at, insecure, because I was insecure. So I just did what I felt like that I had to do. And that was crazy all in itself. But then when I got incarcerated, I'm like, man, ain't nobody sharing this time with me. Ain't nobody sharing the price that I got to pay. Like, I'm the only one that got to pay this price. And everybody is out talking about that I'm like this real dude and I'm solid and I held down my crown. Right. But it's like, I hear that y'all out there talking about free Los at the parties, but it's like, man, it ain't never free me. I still had to do all my time. And ain't nobody sharing in that time with me. So then I started to just really say, that's what gave me the ability to really say, man, I don't care about what y'all talking about. That's what I said in the penitentiary. Like, man, hey, I'm about to go ahead and abandon that mentality, man. I attack my language and everything. Then I stopped saying nigga. Only time I say nigga now is when I converse on why I don't say nigga. Because I say that, man, I'm dead serious, man, because in my mind, I'm like, this is the way that I was thinking. Like, man, how can I just say, man, this word was created to demean me, right? It's like, man, garbage being given to me, and I'm going to, like, dress the garbage up by putting an A on it and dropping the ER and say, this is good for me, right? Like, if it's garbage, then that's what it is. So in my mind, when I was in the penitentiary, it's like, man, I'm rejecting all of them deposits. Like, you trying to deposit that into me? No, I'm not using no more. Only thing I'm gonna be using brother. Good brother, dirty brother, whatever may be the case. But this is my mind. And this was against the dominant thinking of my peers, because you know that everybody in the penitentiary talking the same way and moving the same way. But I said that, man, you know what? I seen what I got from doing things like that. Now I'm about to do it differently because I want to get some different stuff. I just had a vision then. And that's how I'm home for 11 years now and leaning on the system in the way that I'm leaning on the system, which starts within organization. I'm talking about leaning on the system. Dead serious, man. This stuff makes no sense, man.
All right, Carlos, and I know you had mentioned earlier that you got some things to do, but I want to ask you one more question before we get out of here, and then I wanted you to tell everybody about your book, the things that you got going on, and bless everybody with your whole situation so people know where to follow you, how to stay in touch with you, how to ask you information, how to read that book and get that knowledge. I know you got a documentary coming, so I don't get out of here without that. But let me ask you one question before you go, and this is a serious question. I read on here, somebody said, Bobby Irvin said, sometimes when people in there, they dead to the world. So if you see me and I'm dead to the world, and I don't care about nothing, man. I don't care about nothing at all. And you know that this is common. I wouldn't say common, but you know this happens. I'm dead to the world. And I run across you, Carlos, and you put my arm on my shoulder. What do you tell me?
Man, brother, hey, you got a contribution to make. You got a contribution to make. As long as you got breath in your body, brother, you got a contribution to make. It's greatness inside of you. Brother, you wouldn't even be here if it wasn't greatness inside of you. Every brother on this call right here done been through hell and they still here. Everybody hasn't been through that and been able to state that they still here. There's been people that I know that all y'all know that hung themselves because they couldn't get through it, right? So it's something in us that just been like, man, you know what? I'm not going to give in. That's why we here. That's why we able to talk about it. And the longer that we stay out, guess what, men? The more valuable that we are. So you got to give that person something to look forward to, because now this is what we talking about. And Trevante know, because I'm coming out there to Houston, right, for a conference. And what it is like, man, listen. It ain't no more, man, everybody else talking about prison reform at the table because you just studied the books. Like, we need, like, we got to be the main. You ain't talking about reducing recidivism rate if you don't come through us, right? You got to come through us, the people who have been able to overcome the prison. That's the only way that it's going to be able to be, man, turned on its head, is if you go through the people who have been able to establish the mindset to contradict prison, who have been in there and been able to redesign themselves in a way to where they will not get reincarcerated again. It has to go through them. We cannot continue to find the people all in the colleges who look at us and be like, man, this is the way that I'm going to make a living. Nah, it can't be like that. The way that we going to get it done, and I'm dead serious, is through us. And that's what I would tell a brother that I put my hand around. I'll be like, brother, we forming a squad. This is how we going to turn the penitentiary on its head. I need you home. I need you with the right information, because I need you to influence the community that you going back into, because I know you probably still got some influence inside of your community, but I need you to have the right information, brother. I need you to know how to establish your credit. I need you to know how to make investments in the stocks. I need you to know how to start up your own business. I need you with information to take it back into your community, brother, because we about to turn the penitentiary on its head. We about to make penitentiary look good, where people gonna be sitting up there saying, man, you know what, I need to do time, because look at the way that this brother set up.
Right.
Speaking engagements. See, this is crazy. And what I found. Hold on. Hold on, brother. What I found out is that, I mean, when we go through what we go through, it's people who don't go through, man, nowhere near what we've been through. And they want to know how they get through that. Guess what? We can go ahead and bless their life. Like, man, you can definitely get through that, because I've been through hell. So you can get through that. And people get to feel like, yeah, I can do this too. And it'd be people in corporate America. It'd be people who ain't never had no type of prison on their background, but they are so in awe about our ability to bounce back, to sit up here and go through the things that we went through, and ain't sitting up here with our chin touching our chest. We like up here like, man, you know what? Yeah, I did that, but guess what I'm doing now? That's what the So it's just about giving that brother that we come in contact with just some hope. Just show him the end. Just show him what the end look like. That's it.
So show me some positivity. Show me that I'm worth something. Tell me to make some goals, and let me know that I'm a necessity out here.
Right.
Hello?
Yeah, we here. Can you hear?
Yeah, I hear. Can y'all?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah.
I can't hear.
Can you hear, Carlos?
It's real low.
I don't know what happened. Can you hear, Rovon? Can you hear Harold?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear.
There you go.
All right, Carlos. Before you go ahead and get out, man, let us know where we can find you. Let us know where we can follow you. Let us know where we can support and send people your way.
Most definitely. And first foremost, man, I'm talking about all of the brothers on this call right now, man. Let's stay connected and let's expand this thing, man, literally to where we increase the value of who we are in the minds of the people who are in society, and also giving us the ability, and we are the main ingredient to increase the value in the minds of those who are currently incarcerated as well. Like, people will start to think better of themselves when they see us, and I'm dead serious, man.
Right.
Like, people who have been through who are going through what we've been through, like, they'll start to look at themselves more valuable when they get a chance to see who we are. Dead serious.
Right.
So, Starts Within organization, that's startswithin.com. That's the organization, that's the website. Also, I'll be in Houston July 17th to the 19th, and that's for the National Associations for Blacks in Criminal Justice Conference. I got a presentation. I got to do a 2-hour presentation for that. Just, man,
I'm going with you, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I got you, man. I got you, man.
I'm gonna be there.
So,
I'll be there too,
man. So, and this is how we do it, man. Just continue to show the world us, right? And that's how we get it done. In closing out, and my people, FE, man, for putting me hooking me up with Soapbox Heroes. I appreciate that. That's my homie. Went to the same school, that's my homie. So I appreciate her. Got connected with her at a parenting conference. And that's what it is, man. And I mean, we just got to keep on leaning on them. The book is out there, Prison Without Bars. It starts within. That's the first book. And then I got the Walking Logo, Taking Back My Life, Volume 2. That's the second book. You can get both of those books on the website, startswithin.com. And also the shirt is powerful too. All of these is all products that I push out there to just continue to drive home the message. And you see the shirt, that's the left-hand side, liability in the community. You see the guy with the number on his chest, with the handcuff around his wrist, to the guy on the right-hand side with the suit on. He's an asset to the community now. And you got on the bottom of the shirt, turn the penitentiary on his head, saying the community on his feet. That wording that you see in the middle, man, this is powerful because information is everything. Education is how we get to the next level. This is how we attack a mentality. That's the 13th Amendment. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except for as punishment for a crime where if the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist in the United States or any other place subject to its jurisdiction. Only way you can be a slave in the United States of America is if you get convicted of a crime and it serves as punishment, and that's by the Constitution. So when they abolished slavery, the only way that they made us to be a slave is if we get convicted of a crime. And now you got Walmart, Target, Hewlett-Packard, Honda, Victoria's Secret. They getting the work done inside of the penitentiaries now. So now it's just about getting individuals to understand, man, quit being food, because you don't look good being food, man. Like, we supposed to be sitting at the table. We ain't supposed to be no menu item.
Yeah.
And it's just about just getting brothers to understand that through that knowledge right there. Every time I wear this shirt, brothers ask. And when they ask, then they get the answers. Then they get to know. We just got to continue to press this image across the nation, right? So that's what it is, man. Like, it's some exciting times, man.
All right, one more time. Where can I go to get the book, and where can I go to get the shirts? I'm sorry I'm asking a lot, but I want to make sure everybody here. Where do we go get this stuff? One more time.
Startswithin.com. So starts within. That means it starts within you. Starts within. StartsWithin.com. Startswithin.com. You'll be able to see that. Oh my gosh, man. Man, hey, look, listen. And you'll be able to see the trailer to the documentary. Now, look, this is where we at. Now, this is what it is. The trailer to the documentary, brothers, is where you're able to see what we've been able to do in Ohio. So literally what I've been able to do, the Starts Within organization, establish the relationships with the people at the top, the directors, the sheriffs, and things like that, to be able to have access into the prisons. So now I go into any penitentiary inside of the state of Ohio. I go inside of the juvenile facilities, and guess what I'm showing them? This is what success look like. This is what the other side look like. Every time that I go in, I let them know about the 13th Amendment. I let them know, man, how to overcome the prison. every time. And I let them know. So when the brother said, man, how you put your arm, I done put my arm around brothers. I go inside of the penitentiary right now. I sit down at the chow hall. In the chow hall, I eat that garbage. And I let them know, like, brothers, man, this stuff still tastes the same way. There's no way that you can have a mentality that supports sitting in front of here. So then therefore you got to redesign yourself so you don't sit in front of this stuff no more. So it's just powerful. So the documentary will be is going to show you that. I'm talking about, like, the only way we're going to get it done, fellas, is through a unified effort anyway. That's what I believe. So it's just about getting the people at the top, connecting with the people at the bottom, and then we have a real live movement. And that's what we've been able to get done, just literally. So you're able to see, like the sheriff of Delaware County Jail, he's going to be talking. We're going to be talking inside of an empty jail cell, where he says, man, I say, man, brother, we're going to turn the penitentiary on his head. He's like, yeah, right, brother, stand the community on his feet. I'm like, absolutely right. He has committed to taking seized drug money. I'm dead serious, man. This is no lie. You'll be able to see the documentary and get this on it too, right? He takes the seized drug money and he purchased over 600 copies of my book. With that seized drug money, he puts it into the jail where the people are incarcerated for the weekends and whatever may be the case. Now they are getting that information where they are reading about the 13th Amendment, because I'm in that book too as well, and they reading about how to develop that mentality. They reading about how I developed that mentality inside of the jail. You'll be able to see that whole movement inside of the Walking Logo documentary. And you'll also be able to see where I came from, how I caught my case and all of that stuff. So we've been able to get footage inside of the juvenile facilities. I teach the juvenile fathers as well. The juveniles who are fathers, I teach them as well, parenting classes. You'll be able to see that. So it's just powerful, man, to where we are really are going. I mean, it's just, and what I'm saying throughout the whole documentary, man, hey, brother, man, these brothers that's on this call right here, we are the ones that's going to get it done. That's what I'm saying on the documentary. It takes the brothers who have been currently incarcerated, who have not went back in. We need to go ahead and start to create budgets to be able to fund them brothers, to put them brothers back in front of the brothers who are currently incarcerated. So then the brothers who are currently incarcerated know that it is possible, first and foremost. And also to share those nuggets that y'all have with them on how to make decisions, how to get connected, how to move, how to abandon the mentality. So then that's the whole movement in a nutshell. So just get behind it, man. Like, support it, because this is what it is. And we're gonna use the people in Ohio and go to different states. So whatever state you in, you get me connected with the people at the top. I got a media package for them to be able to get into that facility. And then man, turn the penitentiary on his head, and I'm dead serious. I know that's a lot, man. I think big, and I believe big. So that's what it is, man. Like, it's a lot of power on this call right now, and I'm dead serious. And this is bigger than anything else outside of this. I'm talking to the brothers that's on this call right now. Like, man, it's stuff that we can get done. It don't take a million people, man. It could take 5 people, and we can get it done, man. Dead serious. I'm dead serious. If we all moving in the same direction, but we got to move in the same direction. We got to move in the same direction, and then we ain't asking nobody for nothing. As long as we asking people for our success, then we will never be successful. As long as we asking people for free, we'll never be free. Because anytime that you got to ask for it, it can be taken away, right?
Right.
Like, there's power within us, man. We just got to believe it. We just got to believe it. So I hope we stay connected, brothers.
Right.
I hope we stay connected, man. And I'm dead serious when I say that. I don't talk just because I got lips, man. I mean that stuff. I believe it. I'm committed to this. I've been doing Starts Within since 2011, right? That's almost 7.5 years. We have not had one grant. That's just me grinding. Like, not one grant. Like, so people be thinking there's a whole bunch of people behind it. You pull back the curtains, man, it's me. Like, pulling all of the strings, right? Because it's like, that's what it is, man. But that's what's needed. Because our brothers is dying. They dying because they ain't got the information. Because they continue to get that bogus story. Like, it's cool to be locked up. It's cool to shoot people up. It's cool to sell dope. It's okay to be food on the table. They keep on getting that bogus story. It's up to us to tell them the correct story. And I'm talking about our children.
Right. All right.
So, I mean, like, but that's what it is, man. But I just appreciate y'all brothers, man. And I mean that.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you too.
It makes the story even that much more grand. So when I tell the people at National Association for Black Criminal Justice who studying dang on recidivism or studying cognitive behavioral therapy, I can say, man, look, we are cognitive behavioral therapy. We sold dope, we don't sell dope. We was robbing, we don't sell rob. We don't rob no more, right? So we are cognitive behavioral therapy. We ain't got to study it, man. We are it. So we ain't got to have no PhDs. We got a PhD in this stuff without even having to go to that type of formal school. Right. We are so valuable, man. Like, that's the only way that it's going to be done. Increase the value in our minds, man, on what we can get done, man. The solution is within us. It's not within dang on President Trump.
Right.
And having me stuff. It's not, he don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to get the stuff on track.
Right.
People be so smart, they dumb. They don't know how to get the stuff on track. They be giving brothers programs and brothers don't even, man, get in because they don't believe in the program because they be missing the ingredient.
Right. They ain't never been there. Like I said, you can't take somebody somewhere that you haven't been. You just can't do it. You can't do it. And there, everybody, the way we're going to end it, I'm going to end it with a question to everybody. You going to stay around, Carlos, or you got to go?
Yeah. Man, was I just talking and wasn't being heard, man?
No. Everybody,
we hear you, Carlos.
Loud and clear.
I thought because I just seen the pieces. It looked like earpiece on my phone. I'm like, dang, man, I was just talking, and I was just, man, I was like, dang. But I was like, man, it was
got all that info in.
I was about to tell y'all, brothers, it was some real stuff, though, man. I thought y'all missed it, man. I'm still up here looking like, dang, I wasn't even heard, man. Like, I can't even go back, man.
All right, everybody. And look, this is how we're going to end it. I'm going to ask everybody one question on the way out. Everybody will get a different question. We got over there in the screen, we have Tamer Knight. She's going to come on and give us our ads here in a minute. We'll wait till she sit back down. But hi, Tamer. We almost done, and we'll be here for our ads here in a second. Just letting you know. But I'm going to ask one question going around. I'm going to ask everybody a different question, and we'll go out with that question. Rovan, can you hear me?
Yep.
How hard should I be on myself when I first get out?
Real hard. Should be real hard to first get out. Number one, hey, turn it down. Number one, don't forget where you came from. Keep the mindset.
Well, business.
So you know how to stay up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. You don't come home and think, oh, I made it. I'm out the woods. Because just because you at the house, you're still behind enemy lines because you're on parole. And just like the brother said, man, they can come take that freedom away whenever they feel like it. Just because you on paperwork. Just because you on parole, police just pull up and start reaching in your pockets. And ain't nothing you can do about it because you're on parole. So you didn't get away. You just move to another page. It's just like moving to another prison because you're still in prison. You're still up under their rules and you're still up under their custody. You're just staring at a little brighter sunshine. So you got to stay hard with yourself, and you can't give up, and you can't let up, because as soon as you let up, they waiting on it. They counting on it.
All right.
They counting on you to give up. They sitting back there betting on it.
Right.
Look here. The prison system is traded on NASDAQ. You understand me? California Department of Corrections is on the stock market. So they put a whole lot of research into this and everything. So they just sitting on you, waiting on you to be the percentage that go back and make them some more money. Question is, what you gonna do? And the only way you're gonna do it is to be hard on yourself, because it's easy to slip up and go kick it with the homies, or you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
You get a little rejection at a job or something like that, and you start feeling bad about yourself. So you go kick it with the homies, and then the homies, you know, while you're out there chilling, the homies say, "Hey, let's go do something." Bam, you back up in there. So you stay hard on yourself. If you want to stay free, you stay hard on yourself. You stay vigilant, and you just don't allow yourself to give up.
All right, so stay hard on yourself. Harold,
Yeah.
let me ask you this. When you get out and things are hard, say things are moving slow, everybody go through that time period where you feel like you're a burden on the people around you. How do you overcome that feeling?
To overcome that feeling, you have to go stick with what you knew that did best when you were in there. Stick with that. Hey, shit could be worse. Stuff could be worse. So what I would do, my advice would be, I would continue to keep looking. Put one foot left, right. The next job, you always go get no. You go continue to get no, but somebody go say yeah. So my thing would be, don't give up.
Don't give
Keep
up?
pushing, keep striving. It's not gonna nothing gonna be nothing never comes easy. Stuff that comes easy gonna get you back where you left from.
No doubt.
All right. Trevante,
Yo.
when I get out and I go places, I feel like some of the people that I used to be around, they don't accept me anymore. What do I do about acceptance? Do I worry about people accepting me?
Screw people. They don't pay your bills. They don't feed your kids. I mean, what somebody else think about you, it really doesn't matter on how you're gonna be successful in your everyday life. You know, unless it's your boss or you got an image where you know, people are like, okay, they got their eyes on you. But when you get out, I ain't really worried about what nobody say about me because here I am getting out again. They probably saying the same thing, you know. But me on the other half, I'm only focused on what's important. That's my family. That's my kids. That's my career, my church, my brothers who are trying to do the same thing as me and build a policy to cut recidivism rates. And that's the type of people I'm hanging around. I mean, I'll hit the red button on my phone. People call all day long. They don't get the hint. I ain't fooling with you. You know, you got to stay focused though, man. You have to stay focused, man. Um, I'm gonna be attaching some of my information. If anybody watching, going through something, they need to talk to somebody. I like to talk on the phone. I mean, $15 phone calls from prison, that's a little high. I'd rather you call me and talk about a situation. We can solve it where, you know, you ain't calling me like that. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
support.
Right? All right. And the final question is going to be to you, Carlos, and we'll wrap it up after that. Then we're going to come to Tamer so she could do the ad. So the last question to you, Carlos.
Boom.
Man, how do I just stay out of prison? How do I successfully finish the parole process?
Yeah. So again, connections. It's two people that you got in your life. It's connections and it's attachment. Connections, they give you energy, they give you ideas, they good people to be around. The attachments, they drain you. Attachment drains, just like if you put a plug into a socket, it's going to drain. So attachments drain you. You got to separate yourself from the attachments and you got to get connected. You want to get off of parole, papers, and stuff like that, you got to get connected to people who are not on parole, who have made it off of parole, or who have never been on parole ever in their life. So these are the people that you want to separate yourself around. Or people who are saying that they have the same desire to get off of parole as well. You know, so the way that you get off of parole and paper is just do what you need to do. As far as employment, you get employed and you make sure that you got the right relationships intact and feed the right relationships. You got to stay away from the people who are not going in the direction that you desire to go. Because if you do get around the people that is going in an opposite direction than you want to go, you're going to end up going in that direction. That's just the way that it goes. So it's about who you are around. If you're around the right people, you're going to be able to be successful. period. That's how you get to the next level. You get around people that are already at the other level, who are going to that level, either or. But you don't get to the next level by continuing to deal with people that is not, don't even have a desire to get to that level.
Yeah.
You got to let people be where they at. Don't be afraid to separate. And I'm gonna be dead serious, because a lot of times people have difficulty with this. And my good brother Trevante, he's on here. I know he's a scripture-based man, and it says, "He who walks with the wise, too shall become wise. He who walks with fools will be devoured." Right? There's no gray area in that. That is black and white. That means it doesn't matter if that fool is your brother. It doesn't matter if that fool is your mother. It doesn't matter if that fool is your cousin or your friend that you grew up with in the sandbox. If that fool is either one of those individuals, you will still be devoured. It is no gray area in that scripture. So sometimes it will call on you to separate from the people that you done grew up with. You got to separate from your loved ones, right? Sometimes you have to do that, right? Because they are the individuals that will get you devoured. If they are putting themselves at risk, then they will put you at risk as well, right? So you got to get around people who ain't putting themselves at risk. And that's just the way that it is. And that's the difficult part. And I'm telling you, it's not no joke. But, hey, that's what we got to do. That's what it's about. It's just about understanding what needs to be done and then just doing it. So that's what it's about, man.
Birds of a feather flock together. So if you're going to fly, at least try to fly high as possible.
Absolutely. Get with the Eagles, man. Get with the Eagles. See, the Eagles, they fly above the storm. See, that's why I say I don't even care about the stuff that goes on, because I'm flying above the storm. The storm doesn't bother me. The storm bothers the regular bird, right? The storm doesn't bother me. That means that everybody else in society can be like, oh man, the stock market crash and the market is crashing. It's the recession is here. Man, I'm flying above that stuff, man. That stuff doesn't bother me. Eagles fly above the storm. That's why they're one of the best birds, because they fly above. They have the ability to fly above the storm. It doesn't matter what the storm. The storm doesn't affect the eagle. We got to remain eagles, man. Right? We got to fly above the storm. We can't get caught up by what we are seeing, because what we are seeing, a lot of times it causes us to make decisions that's going to put us back in prison. It's just an illusion. It's a distraction. It's a smokescreen. We got to see through that, right? We got to fly above that. I'm not going to, just because we got told no 10 times, I'm going to go for that 11th time, because I got 10 no's out the way. The 11th time is going to be a yes. So now I got through my 10 no's. The 11th time is going to be a yes. If it's not the 11th time, it's going to be the 12th time, right? So we got to stay around people that has that mindset.
All right.
That's how we get it done.
All right. We're going to go ahead and end it with that. I want to tell all the gentlemen, thank you for coming on. Tamer Knight, you want to go ahead and take it away from here?
Ashley Hutchins, a makeup artist in Houston, Texas, makes beautiful look easy. Be sure to follow her on Facebook and Instagram for Beat Face. Need a professional caterer to make planning events easier? Be sure to contact California Food Pros if you have a big appetite. High traffic or tough stains that won't come out of your carpet? Hit up Optimum Cleaning Service, not only for carpet, but so much more. Have you ever had a finger-licking cheesecake? One to make you want to slap your mama? Not until you have tried Sir Charles Cheesecake Co. Paris Family Thrift Store downtown Riverside has you covered. They have your basic necessities, but also will help you move. Check out the Dash Radio in your app store to hear Friendly Fire Fridays. Be sure to check out the Night Agenda for the latest in sports. The Night Agenda will be used as an outlet for interviews, game live footage, and more. Be sure to tune into KCOH Livestream, KCOH FM 92.9 HD to hear Tyrone Irvin and myself, Tamer Knight, every Friday at 5 o'clock p.m. Central Time with Ralph Cooper discussing politics, sports, and more. This is Tamer Knight with Soapbox Heroes.
All right, thank you, Tamer.
Okay, Tamer. Tamer Knight with the ad.
All right, Tamer.
All right. And I want to say thanks again to everybody. We appreciate it. If you're catching this later, hit that share button, hit that like button, go to everybody's pages and like. We Services Unlimited. Make sure you go to Carlos's page, check out everything that he got going, get that documentary, go ahead and check out the Night Agenda. Rovon, you want people to come check you out, or you want them to leave you alone?
I ain't hard to find. I'm on Facebook, man. Holla at me.
All right, what about you, Harold?
Hey, for sure, anytime. I like positivity and feedback. Carlos, I'm getting in contact with you.
Man, good stuff, brother. I expect that. Most definitely, man. Let's make it happen, brothers. We coming together like Voltron. Like we coming together like Voltron, right? Absolutely, man. That's what it is, man.
Oh yeah, one more thing.
Man. Hey, July 17th, brother.
I'm in Houston too. I'll be there.
I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna text you. You playing?
Yeah, I'm in Houston.
I'm gonna text you tonight.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm gonna be there for sure.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. Absolutely, man. That's what I'm talking about. Let's rock and roll, man. I'm gonna have
Carlos. Hey, I want you to get one of my shirts. It says convicted, but still 33%. You hear me?
Ain't no doubt.
I'm gonna give everybody shirts, man. We're gonna get shirts. Tyrone, I need you. I'm gonna get my cousin Al, man. He busy though.
Yeah, he sent me an image. I'll get on making you guys' shirts here probably on the weekend. But yeah, hey, everybody, thanks a lot once again. We're gonna wrap it up. This is Soapbox Heroes, and one more thing. Tomorrow we're going to do a sound off with Thais Mills. She has something to say. That's the section we do where people stand up, say what they gotta say, and we run it from there. No interruptions, nothing out. Go ahead, Carlos, you got it.
One more thing, man. I just want to know which one of y'all brothers gonna pick a brother up from George Bush Airport, man, on the 17th, man.
I got you.
I'll pick you up.
All right, there it is, man.
We either one. We got you.
There it is, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about, man.
See how we make it happen? All right, everybody. That's Soapbox Heroes. Once again, everybody share. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you next week, and we'll see you from here on out. Peace.